Send a text, AlanCoxShow.com. For everything else, thanks again to Legit Benton helping out in the live stream today.
New name.
Cavaliers play tonight. They played the Pistons last night here at home, beat them by 7 or 8. They're in Memphis tonight to play the Grizzlies. Marc Gasol, of course, longtime Memphis Grizzly, announced his retirement. He was part of that Raptors championship team a few years ago. Was Pau Gasol ever on the Cavs?
No.
Who am I thinking of that was on the Cavs for like a cup of coffee? Because Luol Deng was here. You were just talking to what's his name? Verjao.
Yeah.
At that Cleveland Sports Awards or whatever? Yeah. Cleveland
did we
loves
win
him.
anything, by the way?
First time I ever felt short in my life.
Yeah, right?
Did Poundcake get any awards or anything from that?
No, he didn't. I'm shocked, though. I
Yeah,
really
as
feel like
Cleveland's best
what a
sports talker.
snub.
Yeah.
Wasn't even nominated?
I know the last award was Best Cleveland Sports Moment, and I really feel like it should have been one of Poundcake's sports breaks.
Right.
Instead, it was the Cleveland Browns making the playoffs.
I mean, that's got some legs to
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
What?
I think it was a close race.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder what would have kept him from
Hey, I molest children.
Right.
I'd be locked up.
Yeah. Alan, did you see that we're getting a new area code?
I did see that.
436, right?
What is it?
I think it's 436. or something.
436.
This doesn't even sound
Okay.
right.
I didn't realize. God, I was looking at the thing. What did it say? Because I didn't even realize that there was another. Beginning March 1, new phone numbers issued in what is currently the 440 area code. Ashtabula, Menor, Parma, Elyria, Lorraine. It looks like a gerrymandered Republican map, the way this thing is broken out, right? A new set of digits, 436. They said the second half of this year, they will run out of numbers for 440, which is, they brought that around in 1997. 436 overlay will join 234, which I didn't even know was an area code.
Me either.
I'd never heard of 234.
I only know 440 and 216.
That's
I've seen
Akron, Canton, and
234.
Youngstown.
I guess I've seen 234, but I never
I didn't think it was
associate
local.
it. Yeah. Like,
I've seen
I never think
234.
about it.
Akron, Canton, Youngstown since 2000 have had 234. I remember it's so weird when you get new area codes because people can get really territorial about them.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not the
They've
case here.
gotten tattoos on their arm because of it.
Yeah. Well, it's not like your area code's going to change. They're adding one. Am I reading it correctly? Like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah. If
it will.
Yeah, no one's phone number is going to change.
Right.
you get a new phone
Yeah.
and you need a new phone number, they're out of 440 number. So unless you get a recycled one, you're going to get a 434.
Right. Like I've had the same phone number since I moved back home in 06. So I've had 312 since but I remember growing up, 312 was the area code for the city of Chicago. And then there were a couple of suburban area codes that would change. There was like 708, and then they started giving people 708s in the city. God, did people get pissed off. I was like, and this is pre-cell phone, so it was like your home phone number was going to change. And I don't know if it was like that around here, but it's like people get really provincial and territorial about new area codes, and it's so funny. Maybe because people are so closely, to some degree, so closely identified with their phone numbers. I don't know.
I mean, I'm 330, but I'm from more of the Akron area.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
I
got a
always say-
330 too.
And that's Metro Cleveland, or 216 is Metro
I
Cleveland?
think it's 216.
Okay, so the OG is 216.
OG is 216. Then they added 330 in like the early 90s, I believe. And then
Eastern
440.
Ohio, Akron, Canton, Youngstown
Yeah.
is what it says. Area 330.
Yeah, I don't think any really people in Cleveland have 330. It is
No,
more.
no,
I
it's all-
associate it with more of an Akron thing.
Yeah, it's definitely more Akron. Like LeBron, you think 330.
Yeah, I always say, like when people ask where I'm from, I said me and LeBron were just a couple of kids from Akron. 330 represent.
Mm-hmm.
Channel 5 put a graphic on their Twitter account that says look familiar for the new area code. And they took 440, 330, and 216 and highlighted the 4, the 3, and the 6.
there you go.
And they go, I mean, So I don't know if that's
It's a stretch,
coincidental, if
but-
that's, it could be. I don't know. People look for patterns everywhere. 216 won't run out until 2036.
Wow. that's interesting if 440 came after.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of lines that got shut off.
Is that what it is?
Once Cricket Wireless went away.
That's probably why.
Is that why?
A bunch of landlines from the 90s
Yeah,
that
you
people
can-
aren't using anymore. They're
you
like,
can
hey, this
recycle.
is, yeah.
That's
So,
true.
so was Rick Jones lying? Like 281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low.
Oh, I thought you
like
said Rick Jones. I'm like, who's Rick? Mike Jones.
Mike
Mike Jones.
See, I think of more of, is it Ludacris? Area codes?
That's what I think of too.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
I got hoes
Oh.
in different area codes. See, this is the things that I was rapping as a little kid. Didn't know.
Oh.
So what's a 281 area
oh,
code
oh.
then?
What's that?
281 area code.
281?
That's Houston. But Mike Jones was from Ohio.
Okay.
Cleveland, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know.
I just looked it up and said that is a Houston.
281 is Houston, yeah.
And he was like 281-330-8004. We used to sing that in school religiously.
Mike Jones is born in Houston.
Ugh. Well, come on, Mike
Misinformed.
Jones.
Yeah, he ain't from here.
Switch up, but he was repping Cleveland to the death of him. So I'm gonna need him to change his area code. He needs a 434 number now. 434. Now I don't even know.
436.
I thought it was
436 is the new one.
Oh, I don't like that.
Listen, I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says, all right? But when it comes to Houston rappers, for me, it begins and ends with Chameleonaire. Thank you very much. Good night.
Wait, what was this like major song?
It was Riding Dirty.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Riding
the
Dirty.
only
Yeah,
one.
With
That was-
Crazy Bone.
And
But
that,
I mean,
that
that's-
his only hit.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all
Great
he
one.
needed. Riding with Crazy Bone.
Yep. You know, I got to meet the Bones.
The Bones, all
We've
the
had
Bones.
we had a few of them on the show.
So,
Oh,
but-
good for you.
I wasn't saying it like that. No, it's more embarrassing because for whatever reason, Crazy could not remember my name. I'm hosting this event. I'm introducing them. And every time we go backstage and he'd have a question for me, I could tell he just couldn't remember my name. So he just kept calling me Precious.
You know, they smoke a lot of weed over
Well,
there
I-
at Bone Thug Central.
He was literally
so-
walking around with a bottle of champagne,
Mhm.
reeked of weed, and he'd be like, Precious, come over here. All right, what time are we going on there?
He
And
call
I'm
you
like,
Bidget Linton
and
at
I'm
any
like,
point?
yeah,
Legit
no,
Benton?
he should have. And I'm like, does he can't remember my name? Does he think my name is Precious, or is it just like a little pet name because like he can't get Bridget right?
Uh-huh.
So that's my story with Bone Thugs. I'm like, well, according to Crazy, my name is Precious Linton.
Did he at least get Linton? Did he call you Precious?
No,
Linton?
no, just Precious.
Yeah.
Yes, Precious.
Alan 216 isn't OG Cleveland in the 70s. That was Akron's area code, which was stolen away to the northern ghetto. And our numbers changed to 330. 216 was all of Northeast Ohio until 440 came around by the late 80s. Well, anyway, yeah, area code. They did a Seinfeld episode on it, right? That the area code was going to change or whatever. People in Toronto are so attached to their area code that they use 905 as a slur for people who live in the burbs. That's what I mean. Like it's
Yeah.
city
Yeah,
versus
because-
burbs where
yeah.
people get so weird and upset about it. It's so funny.
I remember when area codes became a thing. 'Cause again, when you're a little kid, I would call my neighbors
You didn't
like
have
on
to dial
redial
anything,
because you'd memorize it. You just dial those, their phone landline. And I remember the day my parents didn't tell me. My mom was at work, and I kept trying to call my little friend neighbor in the summer. I'm like, why is it like say it's not going through? It'd be like noise. And finally, my mom came home and said, well, now we have 3 numbers that we're adding. It's 330. I was so mad about
Yeah,
it.
because back in the
Yeah.
day, you didn't have to dial the area code.
Yeah.
It was just a local.
Unless you're calling
you know.
long distance.
Yeah. So weird. Life before area codes.
Mm-hmm.
And for Ludacris, life before hose in all of those area codes. Yeah.
This is one that never gets old to me.
Love
What a
this
great
song.
beat.
Love Ludacris. Hose.
Oh.
You know,
still
for
remember that number?
770 info outfo.
You remember your friend's number?
Yeah.
You can. Yeah.
Yep.
I got like I can think of like my friend like calling that number so many times.
Yeah.
And I don't know my mom's phone number right now, but I could call the Scholars from 1992.
Same. I can call the McDonald's.
Yeah.
Not to get mixed up with the restaurant. It's a family. Their last name is McDonald. Live 3 houses up. Could dial it right now.
The
Ooh,
good
a
Scottish
Scottish
family down there.
family,
Yeah,
yeah,
you've made a
yes, sir.
powerful enemy.
Teaming up on the Squires, probably. The Scots and the Irish trying to take down us English.
Do your parents still have landlines? Or anybody?
My parents do.
I-
My parents still have the same phone number I had growing up.
Really?
Exact. They have. My mom has a cell phone, but
I don't think my parents do anymore.
they still have a
Came-
Yeah, mine
landline.
don't either.
It came with my mom's cable package, and I'm like, Mom, get rid of that package. Like, she's like, well, you get a landline and you get DSL. I'm like, Mom, no one like they're scamming you. Like,
Well,
you
no,
don't
there
need a
are some.
landline.
I mean, there are still some upsides to having a landline.
But she thinks, but
it's just that they're not. What are the chances you're gonna like older people that have? They have
She's-
landlines, you know.
My problem was she was taking it as like a deal. Since it came with a package, it must be like you must be saving money. I'm like, no one cares that you have, your internet and your cable and then a landline,
Right.
They should give it to you for free.
And I was like, Mom, no one. I was like, how much do you pay? And I was like, no one is paying that much for a landline. You only pay that for a phone bill. I was like, I know, because I'm still on your phone plan. So, yeah, it was ridiculous. So we had to like fight her tooth and nail to get it off, but she finally got it off because it was. She thought because it was a package, it was saving her money. I'm like, no, you don't need this.
Poundcake's such a good son. He works so hard to get his mom off.
I need to make sure they're not wasting her money.
It went over his head, I think.
Our landline is the Alan
Gross.
Cox Show After Hours line. It's 216-986-8903.
You know, it's not every day that Alan has just a beautiful quote like the other cast members. He's usually the fluid that holds the emulsion together. But, good Lord, people know if their parents are ugly. That's got to go on the list or whatever.
That's got to go on the mission statement, right? You know, I've never been called in the entirety of my career, I've never been called an emulsion. And so I've always thought of myself more as a colloidal mixture, but I do appreciate that. We haven't referred to the mission statement in a while. We haven't added much. It might be is it worth going over?
I would like to get hip to the mission statement.
I mean, the mission statement
Yeah.
is just a running list of things that have come up on the show that I think are particularly important for the audience to remember. And that guy wanted me to add, people know if their parents are ugly,
Yeah, that
which is kind of a...
I think
That's quite the quote.
I think it's worth adding. I like it. All right, let's get Bridget hip to some of the stuff on
Yeah.
the mission statement.
Okay. Well, never help anyone is number one.
Never help.
Never help anyone. Now, I think that was mine, but I was probably having a bad day then. You know, I think I've softened a bit.
But it's still number one and has been for 14 years.
I'm not changing the order. I didn't say
However,
that.
Not changing. You have changed, but you're not changing the
Well,
order.
I still think it's valid.
Yeah. Okay.
Dealer's choice. Tell the person next to you to shut up. Again, these are all out of context. But
Yeah.
I think in the right context, if you know them, you know. If
Shut
it's-
up, Cher.
You know what would have been super meta at that Cher show? Is if Alicia Silverstone had come out in the schoolgirl outfit.
Oh, that would have been great.
It's a missed opportunity.
Really big missed opportunity. R.I.P. Brittany Murphy. She was Ty in that movie.
If it's not in the air, it didn't happen. I mean, that's an administrative thing. Kids are dicks. That's never going to go away.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I've crossed a couple out. Find ugly girls locally. I crossed that out because, you know, it just doesn't really apply
With all these
anymore.
bureau chiefs.
Yeah. Meth and accordions don't mix. I mean, again, it's very, very
Well,
esoteric.
and
I don't
also
know.
we have been told meth ain't that bad.
We have been told that. That's right. Not in a while,
Mhm.
but it's...
Hey, man, meth ain't that bad.
Yeah. Did you see they found a horse on meth out at MGM Northfield Park?
What? No.
There was a horse on
Was
meth.
that, were they trying to get the horse to cheat?
Well,
So it'd be
apparently,
faster?
apparently this is like not unprecedented where they're pumping animals full of stuff because it's big business.
Meth, though. That's an interesting
They
one.
revoked the harness trainer's license. Gardy's Legacy was the horse. tested positive for meth. According to the, and I'd never heard of this, but this says it's true, the U.S. Trotting Association. They collected a blood sample from the horse after it won, and it found meth.
Wow. Who would
Yeah.
have thought?
Hey, man, meth ain't that bad.
How does
Not
a
that bad.
horse cop meth?
That is one hot rolling horse. Boy,
That's one horse that didn't say nay to drugs.
Bill Squire, everybody. They said
That's
this horse
good.
needs more speed if he's going to win.
There you go.
And they misunderstood. Okay, so anyway, meth and accordions don't mix.
Horsenberg.
Huh? Say my name.
Hey, man, meth ain't that bad.
Give fewer Fs.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay.
Okay.
That probably doesn't even need to be on the list. No one needs extra vulva. That's very, very useful, I think, for you gals. Now, the question is, how much is too much?
True.
What constitutes extra?
It's one of those things that's in the eye of the beholder.
It's in the mouth of the beholder, really. Boobs are boobs. No roomy rectums.
Boobs are boobs. That's
Boobs are boobs.
That's one by itself.
Boobs are boobs.
Boobs
Yeah.
are boobs.
Yeah.
No room.
Because some people go, oh, I don't know. I don't really like boobs are boobs.
Boobs are boobs.
Always wipe it off.
What is that one referring
Bridget
to?
is so sweet.
Don't worry about
Oh,
it.
okay,
She's
yeah.
so
All right, I got it. I got it.
very sweet.
Well, listen, you guys are like playing big poop sounds and stuff. So
I
I'm
know.
like thinking,
I'm just
like,
saying.
wipe it off.
It's
I'm
not.
like,
It's
is
not a
that-
criticism. You're just very sweet.
You're a little innocent.
You're unassuming
You're just
a
sweet
little.
innocent
You're
idiot.
unassuming, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I got it. Just
We're
give
the,
me a
we're,
minute.
we're the ones who've ruined ourselves.
We're,
I mean,
the, we're
you
the
know.
depraved monsters. You're just a sweet little
Very nice.
innocent butterfly.
Butterfly. That just likes to rap ludicrous. I got hose and area codes from
Yeah,
time
but
to
you're,
time.
you
Yeah,
do
but
it in
that's
a way
nostalgia because you were doing it when you were
Right.
8.
True.
Yeah. You'll never live down a prostate milking.
Yeah.
Balls should
Still
always
worth
be
it.
rewarded.
Oh.
I think that probably is figurative.
Hmm.
My house, my boner. I'm just realizing how dude-centric these are, and
No,
I want
like-
them to be more universal.
Yeah.
My house, my boner.
My house, our boner.
It's always fun to find fun when things aren't fun. That's one of mine. Fart your farts. That's a Bill Squire
is.
classic. Sometimes mom and pop sucks. You know, people extol the virtues of chains. Get out of
Yeah.
here. We want mom and pop.
I think that was you that said that.
Yeah, I
one.
mean, it was.
Yeah.
You can't just run from your saliva.
I don't. Where's
That's
that one?
that's Mary.
That's Mary. So she, very stupid person.
Did you, like a drooling situation?
Maybe.
Yeah.
No, I think it was
The dentist.
Was that dentist or was that COVID?
Maybe it was Poundcake. He always gets a lot of saliva, and we're like, well, you can't run from that. Right?
Maybe that was after I ate the pepper.
Ghost pepper, yeah.
I think that might have been it. Yeah, I
That
take
might have
that back.
Sometimes it's worth the diarrhea. That's probably a Mary thing. And then people know
I think that's sour cream based Mary pontification.
and then people know if their parents are ugly. So yeah, we haven't added in
It's
a
been a
while,
while
and
since
it
we've added
it
anything.
might not as a whole, it might not hold up, but it's still in there, and so
That's one that we could add. As a whole, it might not hold up.
the whole finger.
Yeah. Well, no, the one right next to it. That's why your mom had to get a cesarean section because, as a whole, it might not hold up if you push
Yeah.
a 13-pound baby through it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! That's what the biggest takeaway from the show for me.
That
You
I
are
was a 13-pound
pound
baby.
baby.
Yeah.
I did. I came out looking like a toddler.
That is crazy. I don't think that they would even allow that to happen nowadays.
Now,
Once
mind
the baby
you,
gets big enough, they're like, we got to get this thing out.
I was a pretty slight child, so I basically kept that body mass until the 8th grade. But, you know, I wasn't an impressive child physically. Unlike now. I
Right.
mean, look at me.
Yeah, very
Oh,
impressive child.
Oh, my God. I'm such an impressive child.
Hey, man, meth ain't that bad.
All right, anyway. Hey, thanks for that call,